Hello there and welcome to CoreTV News on the Eye at 4 with me, Sabena Izuku. Exactly 1 year after Chibok abduction, the Bring Back Our Girls group on Tuesday took the streets protest to the Ministry of Education with a view to seeing Minister of Education Ibrahim Shekarau. The procession was led by 219 children as young as 3 years old who represented each of the girls abducted by Boko Haram from their school in Chibok, Borno State. The members of the group used the opportunity to decry government attitude towards the rescue of the girls. While some say the government has not done enough, others express doubt over its sincerity on the matter. But the Bring Back Our Girls group vows not to relent in the struggle to ensure that the girls are rescued alive and is urging the incoming administration to make the girls' release a priority. President-elect Muhammadu Buhari is not sure that the Chibok girls who were abducted from the school exactly 1 year today can be released. This, he says, is because exact whereabouts of the 219 girls remain unknown contrary to the reports of sighting. The president-elect said a personally signed statement issued from Daura, Katsina State that his administration would, however, do everything possible to bring them home. Buhari noted that from his first day in office, Boko Haram will feel the strength of Nigeria's collective will and commitment to stem the tide of terror and restore peace and normalcy to affected areas. The incumbent president also promised improve educational opportunities as a direct counterbalance to what he described as Boko Haram's twisted ideology on Western education. He added, as Nigerians remember the day, it should be used as a time to reflect on the pain and suffering of the victims, their friends, and families. The Supreme Court has affirmed that Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose has duly elected on the 21st of June 2014. The court turned down an appeal filed by the All Progressive Congress against the electoral victory of Fayose. A 7-man panel led by Justice Sylvester Nguta unanimously agreed with the earlier decision of the Court of Appeal and the Ekiti State Government Election Tribunal that the petition lacked merit. The Apex Court also dismissed APC position on Fayose's impeachment on the ground that the panel that investigated him was not properly constituted.
Judgment in the case brought here by the APC in respect of the election petition that they instituted in Ekiti. And as you all were there, the court in its wisdom has dismissed the appeal in its totality and resolved all the issues brought before the court against the appellants. And further to that, you can see that the appeal has finally, in this judgment, laid to rest so many issues that are not only relevant to Ekiti State, not only relevant to Dr. Peter Ayodele Fayose, but to the entire electorate in Nigeria as to what constitutes an impeachment, what are the consequences of an impeachment, where and when do you find a man or woman guilty of an offense. And not only that, we know that in our political space, there has been a lot of mudslinging, people making all sorts of unfounded allegations against their opponents. In this judgment, the court has again reaffirmed the hallowed constitutional rule that you do not convict a man unless you have found him guilty after a fair hearing has been offered him.
Well, let me say that this is the final court of the country, and they have spoken. Their judgment is the law now. And we're happy, even though we lost, because this law must develop. We all know now that impeachment is no longer, you cannot even use it as a factor to disqualify somebody. But of course, they made their point that all our institutions, they must be up and doing. If somebody was impeached, you have to go back. The police to effect arrest, try that governor in the court of law or tribunals, so that you can now bar him for 10 years from reconstruction. So we are happy with the judgment because we are lawyers, and of course the law must develop. There is, before now, there's nowhere, anywhere at all, they have not interpreted that section. Section 182E, which says that if you are found guilty or you have been sentencing for fraudulent act or code of conduct breach, but now it has been resolved by the court that the court of law must do that and not impeachment panel. You have to go to tribunal or court of law who will pronounce him guilty before you can now ban him from contesting. So we're happy.
The Ekiti State House of Assembly election had nearly ended when the impeachment crisis again gained momentum again. In a new twist to the matter, the Speaker of the PDP, Dele Olugbemi, accused the APC of holding clandestine meeting with him in order to pave way for the impeachment of the Governor Ayodele Fayose. The APC and the PDP have taken the issue before the judiciary. Our correspondent Rashid has more.
Without mincing words and in apparent confidence of the awareness of what he is saying, the Speaker of the PDP in Ekiti State House of Assembly, Dele Olugbemi, made a stunning revelation to journalists on his level of involvement in the impeachment process served Governor Ayodele Fayose as he threatens to name his co-travelers in the APC.
I am involved in part of the plan. I have been invited to Osun. I have been invited to Lagos to discuss whether we tender my resignations by the APC, and I met one-on-one with Omenis and some leaders. If they go ahead with this impeachment, I will mention their name. I will. I am involved, and I said, mistakenly they thought I can be bribed with little money that will make me to sing my stand.
Olugbemi, however, asked the G19 Speaker Adewale Omiri to stop parading himself as Speaker, even as he added that the possibilities of the Chief Judge or the APC constituting the 7-man investigative panel, just the way the impeachment notice was served, is high.
It is therefore my position that Omiri and his cohort should stop impersonating my office as the speakers of Ekiti State House of Assembly. I know they can still go online and said, even if the Chief Judge refused to constitute the C7, they can still send a message via their online said they've constituted and named some strange name that they are the part of the panel. So I know them.
The coming days will surely bring more drama as Ekiti awaits the outcome of the Supreme Court judgment against the June 21st governorship election, while the APC, through its state publicity secretary, Taiwo Latubosun, on a phone chat, dismisses Olugbemi's assertion as laughable. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
Away from judicial matters, the tension following the April 11th House of Assembly elections in Ekiti State is yet to abate as the election in Ilejemeje constituency has been declared inconclusive. A round of protests has rocked the city of Ado Ekiti over the substitution of Talabi Oduayo. A PDP Ado constituency one candidate as INEC announces another candidate. Once again, our correspondent Rashid has more on this report.
As the long-anticipated general elections gradually went up, Ekiti State, which had only the House of Assembly elections, participated in the exercise, but not without a fallout. The election, which took place at the 26 constituencies, had only 25 constituencies announced, as Ilejemeje constituency was declared inconclusive by INEC, with a rescheduled supplementary poll on the 18th of February.
The House of Assembly election took place in Ekiti State yesterday, 11th April 2015, bearing in mind that we've already had the governorship election on 21st of June 2014. And in Ekiti State, we have 26 State Assembly constituencies. But due to crisis yesterday, we were not been able to collate or declare the winner in Ilejemeje local government.
And in a renewed protest at the Ewis Palace in Ado Ekiti, where indigents protested against the alleged illegal substitution of the candidate for constituency 1, Talabi Oduayo, the protesters appealed to INEC.
I am trying to go to the INEC now to tell my people, because my people are trying to formit trouble, and I will tell them to cool down. They should hold on a little bit. At least when I get to the apex of the matter, then I will tell them what to do.
As the All Progressives Congress heads to the tribunal to challenge the result, the case between Talabi and the state PDP may end for the worse, as the Ekiti State PDP chairman Ido Ufale refused to return calls put through to him on the matter. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
Over to Oyo State, where the governorship candidate Rashid Ladoja says the outcome of the just concluded election is not to be the will of the people of Oyo and will be reversed in 3 months' time. He accused incumbent and re-elected Governor Abiola Ajimobi and the resident election commissioner of rigging the votes to favor the APC and defraud the citizens of Oyo. Ladoja, however, appealed to his supporters not to foment any trouble but continue to support the party until the outcome is examined for the right winner to emerge. He, however, added if the incumbent tries to start any trouble with his supporters, they will be willing to fight back. We'll bring you more on this in our subsequent bulletin. You're watching CoreTV News on the Hour. We'll take a short break, and when we return, there'll be more stories for you. Don't go away.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Welcome back to the news. For more information, you can reach us on any of our social media platforms. That's on facebook.com/CoreTV News, and on our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. For news updates and other programs, you can stream us live on youtube.com/CoreTV and the news. The Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room wants the Independent National Electoral Commission to take a second look at the outcome of the governorship election in some states of the Federation, including Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Abia states. This, the coalition says, it's because of the activities of some politicians and electoral officials, which it says is contrary to provisions of the electoral guidelines. According to the Civil Society Situation Room, there were several reported cases of electoral misconduct as well as violent attempts to subvert the process, which are enough grounds to question the credibility of the results.
Largely, I think it was an improvement. There were 3 specific states where the governorship elections were questionable, and we questioned the veracity and credibility of the results from Akwa Ibom, from Rivers, and from other states. Where it would appear that election officials acted with a lot of impunity, raising questions about the nature of control of the state-level election officials by the National Commission of INEC, and it makes us worry whether you should have this sort of situation where state-level officials are operating with a lot of impunity.
The All Progressive Congress has called for the cancellation of results announced for the governorship and the House of Assembly elections in Akwa Ibom and Rivers State. The party spoke through its National Publicity Secretary, La Mohammed, who says the elections were fraught with massive irregularities. Patience Ajiboya, correspondent who was at the press briefing by the party in Lagos, filed in this report.
The announcement of PDP's Nyesom Wike and Emmanuel Udom in Rivers and Akwa Ibom states respectively as winners of the just concluded governorship election, according to the APC, is nothing but a shocker. National Publicity Secretary of APC, Lai Mohammed, who spoke on behalf of the party, says elections in the states were mere caricature of what credible elections should be.
Governorship and House of Assembly elections were held across the country on Saturday. While the elections went on smoothly in most parts of the country, the situation was different in some others, where all that took place was nothing but mock elections. 2 of the states that witnessed such caricature of elections are Rivers and Akwa Ibom, where elections were not conducted in accordance with INEC guidelines. Because of this, we in the APC are left with no choice than to demand the immediate cancellation of the purported elections in the 2 states.
He says the party wants the elections cancelled due to what he described as failure by the electoral umpire INEC in the supply of electoral materials in many wards and snatching of ballot boxes, actions which, when contested, subsequently resulted in the death of some APC members by PDP thugs.
PDP thugs killed 2 of our members in Ibiono, Ibo, when Basi Albert invaded a rack center in the area with over 50 thugs to cut away ballot materials. The PDP thugs also killed 1 of our members in Insit Ubio. 3 APC supporters were also killed in Uyo. Yet another APC member was killed in Urua. 1 more APC member was killed in Ini local government area. This was acknowledged by the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Mr. Babadi Sabolanta, who was in charge of elections in the state.
The APC publicity scribe added that the sentiment of his party is one shared by observers, both foreign and domestic.
We have indicated that some local and international election observers have also been very critical of the elections in the 2 states, with some calling for an outright cancellation. The leader of the African Center for Leadership Strategies and Development, Mr. Humphrey Bekaren, said in Porakot that the observers were shocked that INEC disregarded the widely reported violent irregularities to begin the process of declaring results in Rivers State.
While those who have been declared winners of the elections continue to celebrate, the process leading to their emergence continues to generate differing reactions. Patience Ajiboye, CoreTV News, Lagos.
For April 11th, State House of Assembly's election results of Kosofe constituency 1 seem not to go down well with the People's Democratic Party and its candidate. Oluwaseyi Adegoke has more.
Just as congratulations are in order for the governor-elect of Lagos State and other successful candidates in the just concluded elections, the PDP Kosofe constituency 1 is still contesting the results.
These irregularities are brought about on due margin in favor of the acclaimed winner, Honorable Bayo Chinowo of the APC. For instance, in Constituency 1 Ward B polling units 017, wrong ballot papers were used in casting votes in Ifakobagada. In this particular polling unit, almost 70 ballot papers meant for casting votes at Amuwo Dofin were used at Ifakobagada. It is apparent from the above evidence that other polling units may have been subjected to similar unacceptable irregularities by the INEC officials.
Alleged irregularities in many polling units within Kosofe constituency on April 11 gave undue advantage to the All Progressives Congress in the declared results.
When you have votes that are so close, the margin is so close, there is fear that especially the incumbency will use undue pressure, the power of incumbency, the control of the apparatus of government, that it will be used.
The PDP in Kosofe constituency 1 says it will continue to work towards getting justice, but implores the Independent National Electoral Commission to carry out the necessary due diligence to determine the true winner of the election. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
And over to health matters. The Lagos State government has dispelled rumors of another outbreak of the deadly Ebola virus in the country. Speaking at a joint ministerial media briefing, the State Commissioner for Health, Idris Jide, says the government will not rest on its arse to keep Nigeria and Nigerians Ebola-free. Abiola Oluwole's report is presented from our studio.
After being certified Ebola-free by the United Nations, the news of another outbreak of the deadly disease went viral on April 9th in the social media platforms. This media briefing, according to Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Jide Idris, is to douse the tension and rumored return of Ebola to Nigeria.
Since then, the following actions have been taken by us to address the issues above. 1, we verified the source, the quality and viability of the rumor. 2, the authors of the rumor have been written to pull down their articles due to its far-reaching adverse implications. 3, we commence social media campaign to debunk the news on our Facebook page fb.com/Ebola alert. And 4, media organizations have been contacted to circulate the correct information to their colleagues and their audience.
While calling on members of the public to disregard the malicious information, Idris maintains that government is leaving no stone unturned to keep the state Ebola-free.
And by way of reminder to the general public,
The Ebola virus disease could be spread through close contact with blood, body fluids, organ and tissues of infected persons, infected animals, direct contact of broken skin or mucous membranes with blood, organ, or body secretions of an infected person, and the transmission of the virus by other animals like monkeys and chimpanzees can also not be ruled out. And those at the highest risk include our health workers, families and friends of an infected person in the course of feeding, holding, and caring for them. Early symptoms of the Ebola virus disease include fever, headache, chills, diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, sore throat, backache, and joint pains. These are things we've been saying all along.
It will be recalled that a Liberian diplomat, Patrick Sawyer, brought the deadly disease to Nigeria in 2014.
Let's take another break, and when we return this time, it will be outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. And outside Nigeria, a bomb has exploded at the gates of the Moroccan embassy in the Libya capital. Nobody was wounded in the bomb attack, which occurred earlier on Monday morning, local time. The gates and a residential building next to the embassy were damaged, residents say. Fighters claiming loyalty to the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant said on Twitter they were responsible for the attack, but it was not possible to verify the authenticity of the claims. The blast came just hours after gunmen killed 2 people and wounded a third in an attack at the South Korean embassy on Sunday. Foreign Ministry in Seoul confirmed the attack, saying 3 South Koreans working in the embassy, including 2 diplomats, were hurt. ISIL-aligned fighters claimed responsibility for the attack on Twitter, according to Site Intelligence Group. And that's it on the news on the hour. Do join us at the top of the hour for Global News. I am Sabana Izuku, and for me on the news group, we say many thanks.